Warrington and the Pies at Wigan. There's tradition and history and great grounds and great fans. And then there's the weather. And if you don't like it, well, you just have to put up with it. Tough titties. So Fiji will get the second half underway. Rain possibly at its hardest and heaviest right now. Kevin Nagama it is to start. I think there's a try in Fiji, maybe even more. Oh, there's a fumble from Scott. Oh, good clean up there. That was Cherry Evans who cleaned up at the back. He saved the day.
He did so well. GI pulled out of it and it come off the shoulder of Scott. It was like he was clean bowled and then picked up in the slips. Let's have a look at this. Pulled out of it, GI, off the shoulder of Scott. Was that Gully?
Cherry Evans got it. And Australia with the ball 22 metres away from their own line. Smith. He will be replaced at some point, you would think, by Farah, although in the first game, Australia's lost it there. We had Farah and Smith on the field at the same time. Fiji, early chance, second half. Sivanasiva locks horns with Scott, bounces away from him. Is tackled there by Papali. Here was the ball coming loose. It's a tough night for both teams, these conditions. And if you keep that in account, the performance has been great from both sides. Driven back was Ragitha. Now let me say the rain's at its heaviest now. It's a monsoon and Suva as the kick is through. Back goes Boyd, takes it dead. Oh, this is shades of 2000 right now. It is absolutely pelting down, almost at right angles, the rain.
What a perfect little kick from Kevin Nagama, I think it is. Well, it might have been upper side. No, Nagama. Just lovely weighted.
Oh.
A centre on the right edge for Newcastle, now playing fullback, picking up skills all over the park.
Have a look at this here at Langtree Park in St Helens. Well, the world's not going to end because it's already tomorrow in Australia and New Zealand, but...
Vossi, they have rain like this in Fiji too.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Oh, yeah, no, I remember that.
Not unfamiliar territory here.
Super League Nines back in 1996. It closed out a day of that tournament. Here is Groom for Fiji, linking up with Bakuya. He's a good hole runner, Jason Bakuya. Tackled 15 metres away from the Australian line. This will warm up the crowd if Fiji can come up with a try. They'll get a penalty, Fiji. Well, they won't go for a goal now at 16-2.
I thought the penalty should have been from his teammate Lewis over the top of him. Bakuya and also Lewis, Cronulla teammates.
Started up for Kane Evans, taking the first one from the Sydney Roosters Club. 5 metres away from the line. Big chance for Fiji. Coruscant has lost the ball. Inglis has got it. Inglis is downfield for 15 metres. Oh, that's disappointing. Early in the count, and Coruscant, and now they can see the penalty on the back of it. So how quickly it turns, and it silences the crowd here. Earlier today, England beating Ireland 42-0. Last night, New Zealand over France 48-zip. But on a positive note, both those matches watched by sellout crowds. At Huddersfield earlier today, Huddersfield, and last night at Avignon in France. And there's another game in France, Perpignan, coming up on Monday week. Samoa to take on France, and that ground holds 13,500, and it is sold out. The home of the Catalan Dragons. There's Cordner with the ball on debut for Australia, 41 away from the Fiji line. Smith rolls them forward for Cherry Evans, able to work that right side. Papali's getting a lot of game time out there tonight on debut for the Australians, and scored the first try. Now Cherry Evans back to centre field for Gallen. Spin and spin again. Lost it. Play on is the call. Smith is onto it. Over the top for Thurston. Thurston dummies to Lewis. Then a step. Thurston almost away. 11 metres from the line. Last tackle, Kangaroos. Smith, one of the kickers out of play. Cherry Evans, a good alternative. Kicks right for the corner. They're flying through. It's kept alive. They will score. Morris is over. Josh Morris scores the try. Hayne was the man with the leap. Australia have their fourth try. Great stuff. 20 points to 2. Australia over Fiji.
Tremendous kick there from Cherry Evans. really well weighted, but a great leap out wide there from Jared Hayne and on to Morrison, who did a great job to get it down with that left hand. But looking at it again, just plenty, no pressure whatsoever on the kicker there, Cherry Evans. So, you know, the Fijian team, they've gone up the other end of the park. They've given away a penalty, gone the 100 metres and let that try in there.
Don't want to detract too much from the Fijians here, but Daryl Millard really needed to contest that football. Just turned his back on it and let Hayne go up and over the top and give the attacking player all the impetus to continue to play.
Well, that has matched what happened in game number 1, Australia versus England. England had an early opportunity to start the second half, but couldn't get it going. Australia scored. It was Brett Morris who scored in the right-hand corner in Cardiff to start the second half, and now twin brother Josh has scored over in the far right corner to start the second half here against Fiji. All right, what does he do here? Does he put the two hands together again? He's kicking into the breeze now. Although you've got to time it. The gust is not quite there at the moment. The rain is steady.
He did bow to the crowd in Cardiff.
Here he goes, Thurston for a second sideline conversion. Oh, he's a beauty. Jonathan Thurston, a goal-kicking clinic, has landed 2 from the sideline on one of the windiest and toughest nights you'll experience.
It was as if the camera was following the kick. The kick of Evans as well, as you mentioned, Dave, spot on, and there highlighted Millard just providing some sort of jumping block. So here it is, it curves.
Beauty. That is getting the ball back to the centre of the fairway. What a kick. What a kick in these conditions. I'm going to take him down to Antarctica, see if he can land one down there. I'm going to set up a set of goalposts and say, here you go, kicking this. Nude. There's Australia with the ball, 12 metres out from their line. I'm a bit sick sometimes, you know. I do come up with some weird ideas, but haven't had much sleep on this trip.
Move on, that one.
Yeah, Australia 20 metres away from their own line. And Scott is with it now. He's been strong right from the first hit up. Matt Scott tonight for Australia. One stint on the bench, but his game time has had a lot of quality. Now Thurston. Thurston's away again. They're queuing up left and right, the Aussie. Oh, Thurston! He had so many options. He had 1, 2, 3, 4 teammates to pass it to, and he couldn't find any of them.
Well, Morris had already run past him. He was too fast. Have a look here, the bust is good. Inglis on the inside covers 2 players, in the show and go, and away he goes, feigns to the left and then to the right, but Morris had already shot past.
It's not quite the Sonny Bill bomb try from Warrington last Sunday night, but gee, when you got 4 players in support, not good for JT. Last tackle now for Fiji in the meantime, and they're doing it a little tough here. And kick deep and skidding its way over the dead ball line, and it will be a 20-metre restart. But yeah, that try has really hurt them, because they had an opportunity 60 seconds or so before Morris scored, and they give away a penalty, and 30 seconds later Australia score, and now the wind is out of their sails.
Well, you just wonder how much petrol in the tank Fiji will have as this game progresses in the second half, and that kick actually suited them from Aaron Groom to go dead, gives them a little breather, gets them set on the 20.
Scott as far as the 40, around his legs, getting a lot of game time as Coruscant, the second choice dummy half. Now Gallen off the bench tonight for Australia, the Cronulla Sharks and New South Wales State of Origin captain. Here is Smith, the Queensland State of Origin captain. Plenty of leaders out there for the Kangaroos, as Cordner is 31 metres away from the Fiji line. Last tackle, Smith to Thurston. Thurston puts it through. Nagaman doesn't get anywhere near it. Uate's there. He's a player who's had some troubles during his career with a high ball.
Well, he actually caught that one basically with the one hand, with the right hand, and it rolled around onto his hip and on his back. Did particularly well.
Both Uate and Sisawanga are wearing those skins tops, the thermal tops under the jumper tonight. As Ashton Sims is back out there. There's been tales from kangaroo tours, days gone by. Greg Alexander tells the story on the Radio 2UE sports show over in Sydney about wearing tracksuit.
Just for the size of the bloke too. You know, he's not a giant of a fella. You know, he does take some tough punishment out there, and he does do a really good job for him.
The next superstar of the game, and
just a problem there with the microphone of Darryl Halligan. We'll press on with play with Matt Scott. And now it's off from Lewis, and it's not over the sideline. Little fumble there. They really ran out of space there, Jennings and Boyd, and in the slippery conditions anyway. You can't really go that close to the touchline. So that one was a play mucked up by the men in green and gold. And Fiji will have the scrum feed right on halfway. Still a lot of time to go. 21 minutes, and to be perfectly frank, the conditions right at the moment as good as we've had them tonight. The rain's gone. The wind is not happening. So a chance to try a bit of footy with a little more confidence.
Vossi, do you think Tim Sheens will be happy with some of these unforced errors that the Aussies are coming up with, or do you think he'll just say, you know, well, let's put it down our second game on tour and we'll get better?
Well, I think Tim Sheens is more happy than not happy tonight, because I think they went out with a plan. They treated opposition with respect, and taking conditions into account, I think the performance has been pretty good. You know, a few errors inside their own half, and we saw Paul Gallen drop one, and they've bombed a couple of tries as well. But I think in the main, pretty good performance so far. But still, they want to finish off.
I believe that he'll be pleased because of the contest he's getting. This Fijian team is playing particularly well outside of the scoreboard. They're really giving them something to defend.
Here's Sims.
Back row is running at 5/8.
25 away from the line. Coruscant with a little dummy and a dart and dancing around Isaac Luke style from the New Zealand side. Last tackle Fiji. And a wide ball, and the inexperienced 5'8" kicking for Inglis. Noah Leia tried his best, and he's got a result out of it. And line drop out Australia.
And there again, we see the growth of the man. A young 5'8", lovely little tap onto the left foot, finding the line. It's not easy to do when you step up to this level, even put the ball in between two players. Waits it well into the line, repeat set of 6.
Yeah, time off.
And time off here for Fita, going back out there for Australia. Just looking at Matt Scott come off. He appeared to be limping a shade for Australia. I'll keep an eye on him for you. As Cherry Evans with a line drop out. That wind's back again. Didn't have much of a break, did it? It's like he did to change the wind here. And Sims is the man running it back for Fiji. 35 away from the line. Coruscant. And Sivanasiva, rail penalty Fiji right in front. 20 metres out from the line. Quick tap, restart. Let's rock and roll again, say the Fijians. The crowd, they need that chant. Played by Sims, works the right side. Groom skips across, Bakuya can't offload. He's lost the ball as well. It's scooped up by Coruscant. He's going to say play on. Oh, Coruscant has almost got there. It's come loose again. Well, they want to check this one as well. Pretty sure it was Apisai Coruscant who picked up the ball and tried to burrow his way low for the line. Ben Thaler is video referee, and it's over to him.
First bit's backwards off Fiji. No, just release backwards.
So, if we go from it back, if we just jog it right back, it looks like we've got a ball steal of Australia, which Fiji regathers. On that angle, it didn't look like they actually got the ball down. Okay, right. To just jog it back, let's just have a look now if the ball's grounded. We have a penalty to Fiji for a ball steal if this is not grounded, because the ball, they've not taken an advantage. In my opinion, the ball is not grounded there or there. and in fact has lost. Rich, the first offence we've actually got is no try because he knocks on, but we have a ball steal by Australia, 2-on-1 beforehand. So it's a penalty to Fiji for a ball steal.
Okay.
Well, you've heard it there. I can't agree with the ball steal because Coruscant contributes to the loss of the ball as much as the player with his hand on the ball. He's trying to score it. You know, he's not worried about wrapping the ball under his wing and just going to ground with it.
What about the skills of Coruscant, though? That was difficult to change the ball over. No try for sure. From the right hand to the left hand and still head out for the line. And as Maxwell Smart would say, that's close.
Yes. Well, you said appendage in the first half of Greg Inglis. That was a bee's appendage away from scoring. So penalty Fiji. And it's still on for them. I've said all half. There's a try in, and there may be two. If they get one, the dam may break. Sims will have a run at them. Ashton Sims. Now Fiji, Coruscant. They go deep. Oh, high ball right over the head of Groom. And they've lost 25 metres there on the play, Fiji. Coruscant and Sivanasiva. Wouldn't that be a moment if Petro scored here in his farewell appearance in rugby league? And this time Corbin Sims locked into a tackle there with Farah and Tamo and Cordner. Fiji 10 from the line. Sivanasiva is 5'8". Graham, oh, Bakuya puts it down. And Australia have the ball, double knock on. It will be an Aussie scrum feed. 10 metres away from the line, but Jason Bakuya just couldn't get a handle on this one.
Hindsight, a marvellous thing as they hit the front run, and Bakuya, Sivanasiva passing the first pass, and if they'd gone at the back, they had a 3-on-2. Kevin Nagama wrapping round, taking on Jennings.
17 minutes to go at Langtree Park here in St Helens. Another couple of World Cup matches coming your way tomorrow. You'll be able to watch the action from the racecourse ground in Wrexham with Wales against USA and Scotland to play Italy up at Derwent Park in Workington. Dave Woods, you're going up there, one of your favourite places, ready for a good game of rugby league, a hard one to tip.
Very, very tough game to tip, and I'm sure the Cumbrians will support it very well. There'll be a big crowd there.
On a Sunday afternoon, they're saying 9,000 sellout, I think you'll find in Workington for that one. As now the ball with Fafita, there's that fend and bump again from Fafita. They can't get the big fella to ground, remembering he's on his honeymoon at the moment. Got married the day before the Australian side left to come on the World Cup tour. And the deep ball fielded by Uate. Looks up, plenty of Australian jumpers there. Uate offloads, Wanga with the ball, but flat-footed. And Jennings there, and Boyd had a leg, so Fiji start to set inside their 20 at 28-2. So we only had the one try the second half. The four-pointer to Daly Cherry Evans. And this time Nagama.
Release. Oh, now Boyd. Go, 3.
And now outside the 30, and it is Corbin Sims. Corbin Sims up over the 40-metre line. In fact, it was 16-2. We've had the 2 tries. Josh Morris getting the other one in this second half. The Sims boys putting their stamp on it now. In this set, at least 4 for Fiji. Last tackle, and high it goes. And long, the kick. Boyd is back inside the 10, now inside the in goal. And that's just a win getting hold of that one. And there'll be no hurry for the Australians to restart it from the 20. No one running it up. But such is the wind here. You've got to pick your moment. Other times it seems relatively still, and then you get these strong gusts coming across.
Petro, onside, go.
They've just finished, or not long, the panelling at the back of the stands. And for those of you watching from parts outside of the United Kingdom, it's terraced at both ends of the grounds. But it was a little exposed here up until recently.
Go, need it better than that.
Now Fafita. Over halfway he goes.
Hold.
Fafita's shown enough in the 2 weeks, I reckon, Darryl, to say he's going to be in the top 17. through this tournament. Good ball inside. Inglis got that left arm free. Pass to Lewis. Line ball. Lewis stepping. Lewis will score. Lewis gets over for the Kangaroos, but it's a try that has the DNA of Greg Inglis all over it. 32-2.
I was just about to say these two teams have been going set for set for the last 5 or 6 sets, and it's become a little bit flat. It was a top quality match going on in the balance, and then they come across the ruck and they go to Cherry Evans, or the Melbourne Storm do this. They go one side and then the other, and Inglis back on the inside, brushes away from a tackle, and they're queuing up. I thought Cherry Evans might have got a double, but he finds Lewis, the Cronulla, former Penrith back rower, too much speed. Nice little jink. Beautiful rugby league. But you're right. When you've got a man with the calibre of GI just hunting along the inside, and there's half a break, steps in and selfishly finds support players around him. He is the real deal.
Dave, you coach up here in England with Whitehaven. I don't think Whitehaven's going to get their hands on Greg Inglis, but what if somewhere down the track a Greg Inglis could come and play in this part of the world? What would it do to the game over here?
I think, you know, a bloke like him coming over here, it really does, it electrifies the crowd. They love to see good footy over here, and a bloke like him, you know, a Billy Slater type, but Greg Inglis especially, just big, strong, powerful, quick. They love it. They'll come out in droves.
Well, he's a different size of athlete, but Super League fans will see Matty Bowen next year for Wigan. But Inglis is the whole package, size, just athlete. I mean, you can play him anywhere.
He is, you know, but they love the blokes that are electric, that can do anything with the ball, that can do anything on their feet. If Greg wants to come to Cumbria, I'm sure. Look, I'd certainly have a look at trying to fit him in somewhere.
You could, you know, subsidise his contract with pies or something from the local produce line. Can you?
Well, look, we'd sort something out for him for sure. We'd have accommodation for him if he wanted it.
Beautiful stuff, lovely stuff. Pub meals whenever he likes. So there it is. There's an exclusive. Cumbria as a united front looking to get Greg Inglis across here. In the old days, the Kangaroo Twos used to open with, well, very early on, they'd always play Cumbria on the tour. As the ball comes across to Jennings, Jennings goes inside the half. Boyd has now got it. And good scramble, and you know, there's the commitment of Fiji. Lots of chases. There were 5 defenders across. Boyd's been hurt there for Australia. Thurston with the ball. Fafita on the inside run, but he has put the ground 30 metres away from the line. Boyd still hobbling in back play. Farah dabs one over the top. Here comes Lewis, the former Penrith winger. Doesn't get there. 3 are into the fence. Oh, that's hurt Lewis. He's in trouble here. Well, this is a bit of drama here for Australia. Luke Lewis is in a lot of pain here. He has been injured, crashing into the advertising hoarding. Oh, this is bad.
He immediately
for
held
Australia.
his forearm, Bossy.
Luke Lewis goes for it, then has the weight of Jennings and another sliding in behind him. But this is a most unfortunate moment for Luke Lewis and the Australian side. It is right underneath the camera position in the corner here at St Helens. But you can clearly see the pain on the face of Luke Lewis. Behind that advertising hoarding, you've got the, well, it is the concrete. There's not a whole lot of give there. It is always a danger in grounds in Northern England. To be quite honest, there is more room around the perimeter of this ground than some others that we will visit.
Yeah, I've got a funny feeling it's his left, he's holding it there, left wrist or forearm, and it seems to hit the edge of the advertising hoarding. I'm too sure if there's an aluminium strip or a metal strip that joins them there as well, so that wouldn't do him any favours.
Oh, not good. Not good at all. Luke Lewis. Remember some years back, Marcus Bai, Melbourne Storm winger, suffered a terrible laceration on an advertising sign down in Melbourne. Caused him all sorts of damage. But this one not helping the cause, adding to the impact of the collision. He had Nagama, he had Michael Jennings on his back. The force of those bodies as well.
Let's go.
Pushing Lewis further.
Let's go, boys.
This is a hard luck story, this one, for Australia.
On we bring.
And they're in no hurry to move Luke Lewis. You know, the way they're lifting him there, that maybe it's collarbone or shoulder, not wrist, is it? Or is it?
They seem to have that left arm somewhat immobilised.
All right, we'll keep you up to date with that. We have Natalie Quirk down on the sideline. She'll give us the doctor's report as soon as we find out the news. 34-2, 11 minutes to go. Australia over Fiji. And the Fijians will stick to their task. But Australia lose Luke Lewis. He's being assisted towards the Australian tunnel now. Fiji on halfway. And the Sims boys have been strong, really committed for the cause tonight. Corbin and Tarek, he was the man running at that time. And Ashton up in the front row, and there was Ashton as a first receiver. Out it comes, Nagama's got it, Uate gets his chance, takes on Boyd. Plenty of helpers there as well though, Jennings and Thurston there. Uate just hasn't had the room to move tonight. And that's a credit to the Australian defence as well. There's Groom bombs, not a good one from 35 metres out, easy for Inglis. Really, he almost teases the defence who are offside in fact.
12.
So it all comes unstuck there for Fiji.
Disappointing end to a good set of 6 from Fiji coming out of their own end. The cloud gives Luke Lewis a clap as he gets pretty close to the tunnel. Here's the kick, just checking the onside. Players deemed to be inside the 10. Inglis, once he caught the ball, just stood and looked, didn't he? The guy was wondering where he was going to go.
It was like, come and get me, but I don't think they wanted to rush in too quick.
The way they've taken Luke Lewis off while we're watching this play unfold, I've had the binoculars on him, but it's almost like it may be some sort of partial dislocation of the left shoulder. The way they've held the arm out as he's come from the field as Tamo will get a more definite report on him between now and full time. Australia 41 metres away from the line. Farrer, Thurston on the outside, and Cordner cut down. Good tackle. Uate coming in off the wing. Now Farrer again. Australia inside the 20. Offloading to Fafita. Fafita back to Farrer. Dribbles it out the back. Evans can't pick it up. Now he can. Play on Australia. Tackle count restarts. Now play on Fiji if they like. No. Well, that's all a bit messy, all of that.
Bit of a comedy of errors. Tarek Sims couldn't pick the ball up on the run either. The ball's loaded back. Tarek's there in 11. Straight through the legs of Cherry Evans. Knock on. Then knock on both ways. Trying to settle down and pack a scrum.
Just keep it stable, mate, okay?
So scrum to pack down 20 metres out from the line, and it will be a little more pressure on Fiji here. Australia have got a few scrum plays, it would seem. They came up with a try to Slater in Cardiff from the scrum close to half-time. Aussies now 15 away from the line. And let's see if they can finish with a flourish at 34-2. Farrer, oh, risky. Right up on the line, it was pressure on Fafita to come up with a catch, and Farrer doesn't like it. So early in the count, and Fiji will now have the scrum feed as things get a little scrappy. And I think the Australians in some regard are a little rattled by the injury to Lewis.
Yeah, sometimes something like that can take the momentum off you. It takes a little while to get back into your rhythm, find a set of 6 and go back to the basics. This pass pushed across the front. Good D, mind you. Been happy with Rakitha and also Vunakethe.
Pushing backwards.
So 15 metres away from the line, Fiji have the ball. And Sims is the man taken down, Tarek. Crowd, good one too, 14,137. Here to watch Australia play Fiji, another big crowd at a World Cup match. And I've got to tell you, to use the colloquial, it has been a bludger of a night weather-wise. but the fans have turned up in force as the kick over the top. This is dangerous. Inglis, though, sliding across. He's there again, and Inglis a prime contender for man of the match tonight at 34-2, 6.5 to go.
Again, Fiji high on completions in the second half, and the left foot of Nuayala coming to play on the left side.
And now another run for Fafita, so strong up top and 5 short of halfway. Robbie Farah on to Tamo. Tamo to Thurston. No, Bakuya thought he had a big one on him. Still hurt Thurston. The throwdown and the tackle of Vunakethe. This is Tamo, another run. I've liked the work of Tamo and Matt Scott tonight for Australia, because it's been an aggressive forward pack they're up against. But they've made plenty of metres, plenty of carries. Cherry Evans kicks low. And fielded on the roll. Konabete will bring it back. And Marika has tackled 18 metres out from the Fijian line. With 5.5 to go. So the underdogs so far this weekend, weekend 2 of the Rugby League World Cup, have not come up with a try. France and Ireland, and now Fiji tonight.
Jonathan up.
I guess sometimes as the match wears on, you sometimes don't feel like the physicality of the match is what it was at the start. But when you consider someone like Brett White, the Irish front rower, said after the Fiji game, he was the sorest he's been of any game in his life, and he's played Kangaroos and Origin, veteran NRL player.
This is Groom, goes low with a kick, and again Inglis is there. They're sick of the side of him. Good tackle, little Groom on GI. Nice work, nice moment for him. Cherry Evans, out it comes to Hayne, and Hayne is put down on the 30-metre line. We can tell you man of the match tonight, Jonathan Thurston. Kangaroos 5'8", and you can add to his man of the match performance 2 absolutely magnificent sideline conversions in a wind that wouldn't be out of place somewhere on Everest. Let's go down to the sideline. Natalie Quirk with the news on Luke Lewis.
Well, he walked straight down the pitch and straight down the tunnel to the medics room, just holding his left arm and his left side, and looked in quite a lot of pain actually. The initial reports coming out of the medics room is that he's got a dislocated shoulder. If we do get any further update there, we will let you know.
Yeah, well, there it is on Luke Lewis. And that is terrible luck. It's the circumstance of the injury. Any injury is bad news, but the circumstance of it, that it wasn't a tackle, it wasn't a run, it's a slide into the fence, and it's just unfortunate. And Luke Lewis, one of the top 17 of Tim Sheen's. If you got to think his World Cup's over.
World Cup over, dislocated shoulder. Medics do marvellous jobs, and you see it again here. Goes to slide. Ball had gone dead. Second guess whether he could have palmed it back, perhaps was maybe the intention.
So into the final 4 minutes of the game now we go. And Fiji still trying their level best. If you missed earlier in the match, they did have opportunities. They just lacked that class factor inside the Australian 20. But their work across the park, their effort of their forwards has been mighty strong tonight. And Australia will know, they'll feel it tomorrow as well.
There's been some great camaraderie in this tournament too at the end of matches, with opposition teams visiting each other's changing sheds as well. Last night we saw New Zealand head to the France shed. You see a kick going from Kane Evans, is it?
Big fella. That was a good one. I like that.
It wasn't too bad. And such as a camaraderie, I believe Australia will jump straight into the Fiji sheds after the game tonight too, and share a Coke or a beer or whatever they may with them.
Well, I'll tell you what will happen. I wouldn't be surprised if Jared Hayne at full-time joins the prayer of the Fijian players after the game. That's what will happen. Last night down in Avignon, an agreement between the two coaches, Richard Agar and Stephen Kearney. Whoever lost the match was going to be straight into the other dressing room at full time. So you had the two teams, you know, share a drink, share a story, and experience after the game. What a great show that is.
More of it.
30 metres away from the line, Australia versus Fiji here. From Langtree Park and St Helens, there's the infamous, the famous bump of Fafita. Last tackle play, Boyd Farah wants it. It's going to be Farah to bomb high. No, he goes low. He kicks across. Hayne was there, doesn't get it. Fiji, oh! Intercept, thrown away to Morris. You couldn't get a better pass.
I was going to say, don't throw it to him.
Go.
Now Cherry Evans with 90 seconds to go. Australia with a chance to score. Scott is held by 3 defenders at 34 points to 2. Farah held there at dummy half and drifts across field, runs out of options. The defence hunts it again. Vinakethe is the man with a hair. Makes the tackle on Farah. Cherry Evans, Thurston on to Nate Miles. He doesn't get too many tries, Nate Miles. It'll be a big moment if he got one here in the green and gold. Farah again, Thurston out in front, Thurston out the back. Here they go. Oh, Jennings again. It's like he's throwing a watermelon or something. It's not a football he's trying to pass.
He's trying
you
to
don't
put
do that with football.
Yeah, he's trying to put that touch judge in for a 4-pointer.
Nice line, Dave. Yes,
He might succeed.
Boys, all good.
well, look at this. Oh, dear oh me. Dear oh me. Now, what about this intercept? What about this pass? Beautiful from Sims.
But this is a great tackle here. Look at that. That's a try saver there.
Yeah, that's Nui Leia. He's got his work cut out, poor old Michael Jennings, hasn't he, here on the left today. Some say he might be just holding a spot for GI to jump back in there.
So we get into the final seconds of the game. Stand by for the big ship to pass by and blow the hooter. Because the crowd, they've had a big night. There you go. And it's hard to miss that. I heard that in Huddersfield, that one. So full time tonight here at Langtree Park in St Helens. And well done to the two teams that have put on a show in tough conditions. And even better, the atmosphere that the fans here in St Helens have provided. Full time tonight, 6 tries by the Australians, 5 goals to Jonathan Thurston. Australia 34, defeating Fiji 2. The second match for both these sides in Group A of the World Cup.